All right. Hey, 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 everybody. Happy Make Your Move Monday. This is Latrice McFadden coming to you live all the way from Durham, North Carolina with my guest today, Miss Flo Jacques, who is somewhere out here in these real estate streets, I think between here and Lexington. And she was gracious enough to pull over because in real estate, you do what you got to do to make it happen. I know we probably have all written contracts in the car. We stop to do a many a thing in the car. So I really appreciate you joining me, Miss Flo. How are you today?
I'm doing great. It's such a beautiful day and a good day for a drive too. So yeah, we just finished a blue tape walkthrough at a new construction out in Lexington. So heading back to the Cary area, and as we all know, the real estate streets don't stop streeting, and we just gotta be out here and make it happen.
I love it. I love it. So tell me a little bit about yourself before we get into our topic for today, which I'm really excited to talk about.
Yes. Okay. So my name is Flo Jacques. My firm is the Flo Estates, brokered by EXP Realty. I have been licensed for a little bit over 3 years now. It's been just quite the journey. I love it. I love it. And I also started real estate investing last year. I like to think of buying a home in general, even if it's your primary, as investing anyway. But in terms of purchasing additional property, that started for me last year. And so that's just a little bit about who I am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much again for sharing that. Thank you for always being an inspiration. So, Flo is, when she said broker by EXP Realty, she's one of the original members of the Triangle Wealthy Group. And we are following in the footsteps of the Wealthy Group out of Atlanta because they just have so much to offer. And we wanted to bring all of that knowledge and education and information to fellow realtors in the Triangle area, as well as to our clients and consumers in the area. So we have a lot of educational events that we have. We have some fun events that we do. And Flo is always instrumental in spearheading those events, coming up with the ideas, including this one that we're here to talk about today. And she's really just an inspiration because I love, she's not a first time homebuyer anymore, and I didn't have the opportunity to be her realtor, but I just love young investors, young realtors, young purchasers, because I think it's so important for us to start early or start wherever you are. But if you can start early, that just makes life, just all the better and in preparing. So let's get into it, Flo. Let's talk about this event that we have coming up. You want to tell everybody a little bit about it and how you came to think about it and where we are?
Yeah. So I am so psyched. I think overall, this, Latrice. I love teaching. I love educating. I love sharing knowledge, right? And so doing this on such a larger scale with such powerful information, I'm just so psyched about it. And I'm always like fantasizing about it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wear this outfit and this pin is so good. I'm gonna have the best day ever. And it's on Juneteenth. Okay, so this is the multi-family commercial real estate investing and equity partnerships event. This is just mighty powerful for those interested in real estate investing, but most importantly, wanting to network. All right, we got to this event after hosting our Achieving Black Excellence in Real Estate panel back in February for Black History Month. And
Mhm.
after hosting that event, we just had such a great turnout. Number one, who knew that people were going to come out to just some achieving, Black excellence in real estate? And the room was full. The information was amazing between the panelists. I mean, I was on there as a young, homeowner, real estate professional. But having people like Walter Snowden, a real estate appraiser, and Monty, owner of CEO of F7 National, talking about his journey of
We are losing you a little bit.
oh,
That's,
are we?
yeah, yeah,
I
you're kind of fading in and out. It could be me, but go ahead, keep talking.
got okay. Let me know if I cut out at all. Okay.
Okay.
Um, yes. So, but having Monty, James Monty, who owns F National and that space of commercial real estate investing, I think it was just so good to be able to hear residential and commercial. And even though it was just like a, Black excellence in real estate, it was nothing particular. Why don't we make this multi-family commercial event happen for us and our community and have it continue to emulate what we did back in February, because not often enough do we invest in commercial real estate.
Exactly. Exactly. And so, what do you think are some of the? What do you think the reason is that we don't?
We don't know. We don't know. We don't have the mentorship. We don't have the inspiration. I mean, we already are fighting so many obstacles from, the 20th century, right? There's so many things that still kind of are like present. And so, given that the generation before us and the generation before you and before, like, they faced so much pushback when they did go get loans to make things happen, those types of things. I think, we just don't have that space. We don't, it doesn't exist. And this event
Hmm.
create that space, right?
Hmm.
The other piece of what really inspired this event, she was attending a multifamily real estate investing event. There's so many companies out there. I mean, some of them like Pace Morby. I attended Real Success. They're out there and they're doing these 2-hour free workshops if you're interested in real estate investing. And then at the end, they sell you some sort of like 3-day thing, right? And I did the 3-day thing. It was like under $300, just $5 short of 300. And I went, and that's where I got all of my real estate investing education, like everything I needed to know started in it. So Tasha attended the multifamily one, which I was as well, and I missed it. So I called her, "Hey girl, how was it? What can you share with me?" Yada yada. She shared, the brief notes and whatnot, not too deep because again, they want you to spend $1,300 to attend the 3-day one. And I was like, "Are you gonna do it?" She said no, and I'm like, "I wouldn't do it either. $1,300? No." And she said, "Instead, I think we should do our own. We need to gather the people that we know that are multifamily." I was like, girl, yes, let's do that. And that's really like between what we just did in February and that multifamily event happening literally 2 weeks later, it kind of just
Hmm.
morphed into, well, let's bring this to our community because we don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
many Black commercial real estate investors besides
Right.
me and Tiffany, like the people that are going to be on the panel. Do you?
Not. Nope. Nope.
Yeah.
Because we don't know. Yeah. So I can see your passion is just flowing through the pun intended. Flowing and glowing, we'll say. So yeah, we don't know, and I don't want people to get confused with commercial, thinking that we are talking about commercial in the fact of business. When we're talking about commercial in the aspect of multifamily, so still residential in a sense, but commercial in that once you get past, I think it's a fourplex, then it becomes it's commercial. Not you can't buy it like on a traditional owner occupant type
Hmm.
loan.
Yeah.
So, what's the difference in that, and why is that so significant to understand? What benefit is it to us as investors to do multifamily versus maybe single family, or multifamily versus true commercial? What do you think the benefits are to doing those types of investments versus the other ones?
Yeah. I think, the straight up answer is owning multifamily real estate helps you scale quicker in your
Mhm.
investment portfolio, right? So in our world of real estate investing, you might hear somebody say, I own 40 doors. And you're like, okay, so 40 properties. And it's like, no, 40 doors. Like what's the difference between doors and properties, right? So
Mhm. Mhm.
I can buy 40 homes, right? 40 houses, 40 different addresses, or I can own like 10. And between the 10 properties, there's a quadplex in there, there's a 6 unit in there, there's
Mhm.
and all of these are considered doors. So each property, each unit that you could put somebody in and make income on is considered a door, right? So
Mhm. Mhm.
family real estate and then going into the space of multifamily commercial real estate allows you to scale your real estate investing portfolio much quicker, right?
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
going to take a lot longer to buy 40 homes than it would
Mhm.
get to 40 doors
Yeah.
because I own 2 properties now. I buy a 6 unit next month. Maybe next year I buy a 10 unit apartment, and then so at that pace, your ability to cash flow passive income is going at a much faster rate.
Exactly, exactly. And does it also help, like maybe alleviate or possibly reduce some of your risk of having no income coming in and
Right.
things like that? So if you have multiple doors, multiple people, the chances are that somebody's going to be able to be
Cover
in there
that.
and be active. Yeah.
Yes,
You want to
absolutely.
talk a little bit about that?
Because I currently have a single family. I've been trying to get rented out, and it's just been quite the experience. But it's like, okay, every month that goes by, I'm like, oh, I just need a family. I just need a family. Whereas, when you have a duplex, at least you're like, okay, one of the units is covering it, and that unit's rent is at least paying for 75% of the mortgage, even if I don't have the other side. Because the other
Hmm.
side would have just been extra cash in my pocket anyway, out
Hmm.
beyond mortgage. So the more doors you have, there's just a fast track to wealth in general. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. And so, do people need to have like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars to get started in multifamily commercial investment?
And so that right there, that's the question as to why people need to register for this event. Okay. Because often do we think, oh, I don't have money. I don't. Sometimes we think something's too big for us. I don't know about
Mm,
an apartment. Do I want to deal with the headache and property? Man, I don't even know what it takes and where it starts. This space is for beginners. You are coming to get the information from the people who have done it and have lived it and experienced it, right? One of the people that's going to be on there is a commercial lender. So he is going to be talking to you about, what you need to qualify and secure financing to purchase a commercial property. And you did kind of allude to this a little bit earlier, and I want to make sure that I'm specific here and make sure I cover this. We know that multifamily is, 2 to 4 units. When you get to 5 units and above, it's commercial multifamily, hence the title, right? So we are
mhm,
including talking about the 2 to 4 units, but we're also going to be talking about the 6 units, 10 units apartment complexes, right? Some people on the
mhm,
own shopping plazas, they own assisted living centers, they own other types of commercial real estate. So that title in there is jumbled, not jumbled, but like it's in there to
mhm.
cover this, right? Um,
Yeah.
and in terms of like a commercial individual, I'm going to learn how much money I need. The Remember the last part of this title is and equity partnerships, right?
Mhm,
Because
mhm.
one of the issues that we have is like, okay, I got to do this by myself. And we don't realize that when you go find out who owns this hotel or who owns this assistant, and one person didn't buy it, and it wasn't just a husband and a wife, it's like six other investors that pulled in money and they work jobs as engineers, pharmacists, doctors. They got their other jobs. They just decided to invest their money and they own a piece of it, right? So
Right,
that's what we're going to
right,
be talking about and breaking down as well, because you don't need to have a large down payment to buy a commercial property. Just be an
right. Exactly. Yeah, and that's what I wanted you to bring out is that I don't want people because so a lot of times even with just buying a house for the first time, people think I can't do it or they've never seen anybody do it or they just like you said were saying earlier, it's this lofty goal that is beyond my reach. And getting that education coming out and hearing people's story because a lot of times we'll see people and we think, oh, they already did it, they had it easy, they had a golden silver spoon in their mouth, or they had something, they had a bunch of money that came their way, or whatever. And that's not the case. And a lot of our panelists are very, very transparent about their journeys with it and the things, the positive, the negative, the whatever that you have to think about. And they're also all, from what I have seen, all very open to sharing and want to give back to the community, which is why they all said, yes, we'll be on this panel. So I wanted to just, reiterate that, like you said, it is for beginners. Come out, and maybe if it's not for you, we lost flow. Um, if you don't think it's for you, maybe you come out and you get the. No,
Did you lose me? Are you here?
we lost you again. Very loud.
Let's see. Well, let's see.
All right, so Flo will be back, but I want to go ahead and tell you that you can register for this event at twgpresents.com. It is available right now for you to register. And we didn't talk about it yet, but we, in addition to these phenomenal panelists that we will have, which I think she listed them, but I'm going to say them again. We have James Monty Montague, and you can just Google their names and you'll find out about them and their history and their experience. We have Tiffany Elder. We have Ocean. We have Greg Pitcher and Nicholas Payton, who will be joining us as the panelists. And we also have some phenomenal sponsors. We have State Farm. We have Investors Title. Welcome back. I was just talking about the panelists, naming the panelists and the sponsors. So we have State Farm. We have Investors Title. We have Self Help Credit Union, who is graciously allowing us to use their venue downtown Durham. It'll be held at 302 East Main Street. And the fourth
First
sponsor,
Community Mortgage.
First Community Mortgage. Thank you so much. So we were talking about that. So we're going to provide breakfast and lunch, and then we will also have the opportunity to tour one, maybe two projects that are going on, so you can see. So it's going to be a jam-packed day starting at 9 o'clock. We want you to get there, register early because we want to, get you to have breakfast and get all the information that you can get. So it's from 9 to 3, breakfast, lunch included, and then that tour. And so I thought while you were gone, I was just sharing that the sponsors and the speakers and things like that. And can't remember the last thing that you left off saying. Do you remember where you were before we lost you?
Um, No, I think you were finishing up on what we were just saying about what you can expect with
Mhm.
commercial real estate in that world and different kind of equity partnerships and the lofty
Mhm.
goal in seeing ourselves. I think that's what we left off on.
Yep,
Mhm.
absolutely. So just come out, register, come and see and get the information because you can, if you don't think you're quite ready, which is a lot of times the case in first time home buyers, you don't think you're quite ready. And then you come and you're like, oh, wait a minute. I'm not
Mhm.
that far off because there are so many products out here today
Mhm.
that you can do it. And then the equity partnerships and coming because a lot of times in our community, we don't think we can work together. And you have to structure it and be professional about it. But when I did the tour, Lavelle Exum does these tours once a month in Rocky Mount for people that are just getting ready to be investors. And in just those single family homes, I ran into people and they were like, yeah, we just met and we had like-minded goals and we became partners and it worked. So don't come with the mindset that it can't work or it don't work if you're not ready, because get the education and find out and work with us and create partnerships and pick everybody's brain to figure out how it can work for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anything that you want
And that's why I think this space is also an opportunity to get to know people and possibly partner with them on a deal, right? Now, of course, it takes building a relationship and getting to know each other, right? Because you can't be on, three on the level of three and somebody's a level at 10 of 10, like I'm ready to go, hit the gas pedal, let's go, and you're still over here fearful, you know what I mean? And so
to.
you got to partner with somebody who knows what they're doing, has been in the industry. People are always looking for folks, I mean, I think just connect with investors, and then they're going to be like, hey, are you interested in this deal? They want you to put money in because they're looking for people to put money in. And we're going to be breaking all of that down and what the importance of that, because you can keep more money in your bank account to take care of your life personal stuff, but be able to leverage the ability of having something grow and appreciate over time. And over time, people decide, hey, I actually don't want any piece of this anymore. I need the money to take care of some other things, or I'm ready to do something different. And then they sell their piece, they sell their share. And,
Mhm.
little by little, it went from 4 people owning it to 3 people owning it through you and just somebody else. And then 10 years, 15 years has gone by, and now you're the sole owner. You bought everybody out. And, so that is the whole point of kind of understanding this breakdown in this world of commercial real estate investing.
Absolutely. I want to come back to the fear piece, but I also want to talk about the selling it, maybe you're the one who needs to sell, or what, for whatever reason, because you may need to put a child through college, you may need to help a parent who's sick, you may need to, we may want to just invest in somebody else, which goes to the tent to first first investors title. I'm combining two businesses, investors title, because they'll be talking about the 1031 tax exchange, and how, because it's not just about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be strategic. Yes, Uncle Sam wants his money, but there are strategic ways to be able to minimize your tax liability. So that's one thing that investors title will be there to talk about. So did you want to say anything about that? And then I want to go back to this fear piece.
Yeah, I think the I'm so excited about the investors titles piece because just understanding that this is another kind of sphere and dimension of building wealth that we don't know much about. Like the average person isn't typically buying real estate and selling more real estate, and let alone being able to defer taxes by investing and growing your wealth is just mind blowing. And when I learned that you can do it from one residential to a commercial, it's like, what? Like people think, okay, yeah, 1031 exchange, you're just doing a like for like exchange, and it's like, okay, it doesn't have to be from. You could have your first home that you bought from a couple years ago, and it's appreciated in value significantly, right? And you're like, well, okay, I got to go buy another house. No, you can go buy an apartment complex. You can go buy a 6 unit. It's commercial, and you can use all of that equity that you just capitalized on into something else. And that is why I'm excited to have investors title be there to kind of like just go deeper into the various ways you can get into commercial real estate if you're somebody like me who has more residential, you know?
Mhm, mhm,
Yeah.
mhm, mhm. So come get the education. So let's talk about this fear piece.
Hmm. Hmm.
Fear. How, I mean, and I'm guilty, so I'm talking to myself too. This
Hmm.
fear that I can't do it. This fear, what if I fail? This fear, what if I run into an issue? What do you what do you say to people who are experiencing fear and just don't want to do it? They really want to do it, but they just cannot overcome the fear. What type of words of encouragement do you have?
Well, I'm gonna end up pulling some well-spoken words from some people we know because they've really put it really well, right? I like what Tasha Lopez has said about like fear and faith cannot move in the same, like in the same space, okay? And you really have to bet all on yourself. That's what I'm doing, like for me. God is the main number one leader in my life, right? And so everything that I'm doing, I put it all before him. I don't go before him. He goes before me, okay? And so for
Mhm,
me, I'm like, okay, well, if I'm supposed to be here, I'm going and I'm going all, and I cannot be afraid. And so when I think about the life that I would like to live 10 years from now, 15 years from now, and knowing that I have so many people around me who are there, who have done it, they've talked about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so I'm thinking to myself, well, I either got to bet all on me or I stay where I'm at and I'm just jealous, envious, and, I'm like, I want to own that hotel. I would like to own, I would like to build a luxury community,
mhm,
and if I believe, I know I can do it. Doesn't mean that it's not scary. Doesn't mean that times aren't going to get tough and tight because you just spent so much money, trying to make this happen. It doesn't mean that, but it's just like, what do I have to lose except the fact that
mhm.
I bet on myself?
Right,
You know?
right, right.
Sometimes you just need that inspiration. I'll say this and I'll let you kind of like add in here too. Again, I think about all the people that we've come in contact with wherever we are, whether they're in the space, whether, I think about Jesse Itzler from last year at EXPCon.
Mhm, mhm,
I mean, not only was he such a great opening speaker, and I love that he brought a DJ with him and everything, but I think about the fact that this man is what now a billionaire, right? His
mhm,
wife is also a billionaire, owner of Spanx. They sold it and everything, right? But he said that he built 6 businesses and have failed those. He talked
Right.
about all the companies he started, the coconut water, the, jet charter private plane, like all these businesses that he started and he failed. He lost and still he got up. And the thing that he constantly says is that he pours his soul into it. Right.
Mm,
So that was his way of phrasing it. But that right there goes back to what I started with when I said here, right? You gotta give it your all.
mhm.
Like where you want to see yourself 15 years from now, 20 years from now, the life you want to live for you and your family, that dream and that vision for me is so much more powerful than my fear. You've got to quiet that noise. Quiet that noise.
Right. Yep. Yep. And this space will give you the confidence. It doesn't mean that there won't be trials, that there won't be, and I don't like necessarily use the word failure, but a learning experience,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of times if it can be a failure if you just fall down and don't get up. But
Mm-hmm.
if you learn something from it and you apply it and move forward, then it's not a failure.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a phase of life. And it can be, I'm sure when you're going through it, you like, oh my God, what in the
Treasure
world?
it.
But
Treasure it.
but you got to get over it. You just
Mm-hmm.
make your move. You got to get over it and just keep going. But if you never even try, if you never even start, take that first step, then you lose 100% of the tries you
Shot
never
don't take.
attempt. Yeah, the
That's
shot. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So that's
right.
what we want everybody
Yes.
to do, is to come out and just start.
Yeah.
Just get the information. And maybe if this commercial space is not the right space for you, but maybe it'll lead you, because the principles can be used across a lot of different areas in life and in business. So
Hmm.
come get it, come meet the connection, make the connections, and learn, and implement. That's the key, implement.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Flo, we talked about this contest that we're going to have. What do you think? You think we should go ahead and do it and put it out there?
I guess we'll let them know.
I guess. So, we do want to make sure, again, I said earlier, you can go and register and get your ticket at twgpresents.com. And I'll put that link in the chat on Facebook. And I will be transparent. There's some technical issues and it's not going Facebook Live right now. I think we're only live on YouTube and LinkedIn, but I will post this. So I'll put those links in for twgpresents.com. You can go ahead and get your ticket. So don't wait to get your ticket. Go get it now, because the spaces are actually filling up. So we want to
And
get
we're
you in.
committed.
Everybody can get in and get this information. But we're going to give away 2 tickets, 2 individual tickets. So go ahead and get your ticket, and then you can bring a friend, bring a family member, bring somebody young, bring somebody old, bring somebody with
Hmm.
you that can benefit from this information. So we will have our contest, and if you will, and I'll put the link to the post in the chat. It'll be at TWG Presents on Facebook. So if you go to facebook.com/TW, I'm sorry, not TWG Presents, Triangle Wealthy Group. Got too many different things going on in my mind. But if you go to facebook.com/Triangle Wealthy Groups, I do want you to go and invite us. I mean, and like our page there. But we'll have a post there. And if you like that post, you have to, it's a couple of steps. So let me find them so I don't tell you the wrong thing, but it'll be a few steps with that. You will like our post, and then you will tell us your number one investment goal, your biggest investment goal for 2025 or even 2026, what your investment goal is. Post that on there. And then we want you to tag 2 friends who need to get this information. And if you do that, then you'll get entered to win a ticket. And then you'll get a bonus entry if you share the post from the Triangle Wealthy Group Facebook page. So I know that was a lot, but I'm going to put it, it'll be in the post, and I'll put the link in the chat. So make sure that you go on Facebook to our Triangle Wealthy Group page, like us, like the post, and then you'll see the instructions to win your ticket. So
Hmm.
and we'll have until Friday to do those things, and then we will announce the winner on Saturday. So
Yeah.
got it. All of that. So we will have all of that again on facebook.com/triangle wealthy group. And you can win a ticket to join us, but don't wait to win a ticket. Go ahead and purchase your ticket today at TWG Presents because you don't want to miss this event. So,
Right.
Flo, any last minute comments or thoughts that you want to share?
Yeah, share this with somebody, share and invite somebody that is like-minded. That is so critical. Oftentimes we might be like, "Oh, I want to go with my friend," and you don't realize that your friend is not in the same headspace as you, or even a family member, right? And honestly, if you don't go with somebody that is like-minded, or you don't share this with somebody that is like-minded, you might end up sharing with somebody who is a loved one, a significant other, a family member, or a good best friend that's going to put you down and tear that dream down, because we got
Mm,
to remember, like, not everybody's on the same scope. Some things you just like, what you want in life, and you're gonna have to go after it. um my journey and interest in real estate does not connect with anybody I know personally at all
mm.
whatsoever. Okay, no
And that's
friend.
okay. Hmm.
Yeah, like, no friends, no family, nothing. And so I knew what I wanted, and I'm going after it for me, regardless of, so I don't really have much noise in my ear telling me no. Or, surely in the past I've told people my desires to build wealth. And of course, somebody told me that I'm going to lose my soul or something. That you're going to hear so many crazy things. But like I said, when you're going to these events, you're excited about this sort of stuff. Talk to somebody that is going to be all about it too. And the minute they tell you, "I don't know, girl, that sounds like a lot," cut them off. Move on. Don't invite them. Yeah,
Hmm.
you need like-mindedness is key and critical in this world.
Absolutely, absolutely. Don't let anybody steal your joy, your dream, because not everybody believes like you believe.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's very, very important, very key, very good information and recommendation. So, go get your tickets, y'all. We'll see you on Juneteenth. Again, it's going to be at 302 West Main Street, and then you will park in the Corcoran Street parking lot. And yes, that is a Thursday. It is a federal holiday, not necessarily a state holiday. So even if you have to use one of your PTO days, it is so important for you to use this time to invest in yourself. We won't really get into the history of Juneteenth, but we know that it is a very significant day in our community, and we should recognize it and respect it and invest in ourselves on that day. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we mentioned it, but I just want to make sure. Don't forget, y'all, like, this is a full day of 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., not just breakfast and lunch and getting this panel, but remember, the afternoon is a live interactive tour. Live
mhm.
tour of a multifamily commercial property to view and see. And so, we're not just, getting you out here just to give you all the information, but also we want you to walk through a site that one of the people in the room owns, so you can see this and visualize it in person.
And
Yeah.
there's no bait and switch. We're not going to be like, oh, you pay for this today, and if you want to get into it, you got to spend $1,300 to get the
No,
details.
we
There's
don't
no
want your
bait and
money. Like,
switch.
we're good.
Yeah,
We're fine. We are real estate brokers. We are here to sell real estate and educate our community. Okay, so
absolutely.
there's nothing after that. Instead, just stay in our network. Stay connected.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
All right, Flo. I think we have shared enough information, and hopefully, if anybody has any questions, you can reach out to me or to Flo. You can inbox us on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube or wherever. You can text me at 919-730-0803. Email is latrice@latrice.biz. So you can get in touch with me. Flo, do you want to share any contact information?
Yeah, so you can, text me or beat me or call me. That's what we say. Call me, beat me if you want to.
Did you say beat me? What you know
Yeah.
about beat?
Well, listen, listen, I'm a 90s baby, but I know what pagers are, and I know all of that. Okay, so, but anyway, there's a show I watched when growing up called Kim Possible in the early 2000s, and the song was like, "Call me, beat me if you want to reach me." So anyway, if you want to call me, if you want to reach me, 919-213-8659. My email is flow.jacques, as you see it here, but with a dot, at exprealty.com. And you can also go on my website, theflowestates.com.
All right, my old soul there. You've been here before. All right, everybody. You all have a phenomenal rest of your Monday. It is gorgeous now. I think we're supposed to get some bad weather in the Triangle area. So, and that's another thing. You don't have to just be in the Triangle area. So,
Yeah,
come. It's worth the drive.
people are driving, people are coming,
Yes.
so
So,
make it over.
come on over. You can get. It's worth the drive to get here on that day. So, be sure to remember to make your move because every step counts. And we will see you on Juneteenth. Thank you, Flo.
Thank you for having me. Have a wonderful
Absolutely.
day.
You too.